Alright, again, this is game 3 now of the Myth World Cup 2009 Finals. Team Thundercocks against Team Name Changers. The map here is Lichen, I'm not sure how to say that, on Flag Rally. So here's Thundercocks' trade. Pretty moderate amount of artillery, kind of modest amounts of everything. 4 pus goals and 4 tagging scout goals. Name Changers goes less artillery and gets a goal pack instead. Let's see how this is distributed. Okay. So Shyster, Ku, and myself have a warrior pack each. Genghis is on the general with a dwarf. He's pretty handy with dwarves. That's kind of his thing. Adrenaline has a goal pack. Limp and Ska on archers. Thundercocks is drawing a path here for their melee packs, it looks like, maybe to flank, which would be Terry and Merc on the warrior packs, Karma and Grim on archers, Zur on the general.
Game on.
And I'm not even sure what Storm doesn't even have units yet. They're not. This is usually a pretty good indication of an unprepared captain. 3 minutes of planning time, he can't even finish distributing the units. Not a good sign for Team Thundercocks. They also have barely any units. Karma here has 25%, Zur has 21%, and Chicken Wire and Storm have 4 and 2% respectively. So this is almost like just with this, the way this unit distribution is, it's almost like a 5 or 7 game. I'm not really sure why they did that. It's not going to be good though here, probably for Team Thundercocks. Now the strategy here for Name Changers is to go all east from their start position, and Thundercocks is going all west. Kind of opposing strats, except they have Grim here off by his lonesome self. South, apparently they want him to commit to guarding this flag, but
flag
it's usually
captured.
not a good idea. He's
Flag
so far away
captured.
from help. As you can see, he's probably going to run into our rush force here. If he doesn't scout ahead of himself to find that rush in time, he's probably going to get rushed
flag
very badly
captured.
here. So here he goes, he's going to scout. He's not really scouted ahead of himself though. He sees the goal pack, he's thinking about running, but he's going to commit to guarding this flag. Hopefully he doesn't overcommit to guarding it. Otherwise he's going to get rushed really badly here. And it looks like he is overcommitting to it. He's going to run right on top of it. And he should see Shyster's units right here, but he doesn't. He hasn't seen them yet, otherwise he would start running away. He's focused on this goal pack. Now he sees Shyster's rush force and starts running, but it's probably too late now. So Grim's gonna get rushed there. Elsewhere on the map, you have myself going straight for the jugular, going straight for their home flag here, and you have Limp also in the middle against Zer. His very tiny
Flag captured.
force with the general. Just a pusless goal, a general, and a journeyman and a dwarf, all by his lonesome self. You have Merc and Terry going for the Name Changer's home flag. Alright.
Flag
So
captured.
here's Grim getting rushed. Gets a pus stud. Shyster gets a pus stud on that dwarf. Grim kills it. And then Dren follows up with another pus. So his dwarf's dead. He has no pus. He's gonna get rushed and probably die a horrible, slow, painful death. Sorry, Grim. Here you have, and by the way, this was a 2 versus 1 matchup to begin with, so it was not very good to begin with, really. So here you're gonna see Zur kill himself with the dwarf in another 2 versus 1 matchup. So you're getting all these 2 versus 1 matchups, and that's as a result of Chicken Wire and Storm not really taking any units to help fight. Just terrible unit distributions. Zur killing his dwarf there was his own fault, though. But you know, you see that a lot in random games. Forget the name of that spell, but usually see people do that a lot, but usually not in a Myth World Cup Finals match. Here you have Terry and Merc fighting Ku and Ska's Thrall Defense. They have the force advantage there, so Ku will most likely not commit to defending that flag, and he won't commit to that fight. He'll pull out. He'll retreat. Grim here is still dying. Good lord. Still dying that horrible, slow, painful death, just getting cleavered in the back. I mean, he could have at least turned around to do some damage, but I guess not. And here I am meleeing Chicken Wire's Thrall Defense. There's Flag Defense. So here you got, again, Zur can't do anything. He's got the General. He can't really do anything without a dwarf. General's too slow to rush anything. He tried to kill Genghis's dwarf with one of his own reflection spells there. That's why there's 2 of them. But Genghis didn't fall for it. And you got another 2 versus 1 matchup here, you know, essentially, because Krung was the only one in the fight. They should be splitting
Flag
archers
captured.
up so he can help micro that.
Victory imminent.
So here, Thundercocks down big time in percentages, but they do have victory imminent
Flag
first.
captured.
And both
Victory imminent.
teams have victory imminent now. Both the last flags are the temple flag for both teams. This is mopping up here. And they still haven't split archers. So Zur's completely out of the fight. This is a good point to make. You know, it's very important to redistribute units. Thundercocks was very smart about this last game for the divide game, and they won handily. Chicken Wire also took units for himself and distributed well. So that's kind of the differences, I guess, between the last game and this game. You got 3 people without units. They've pretty much given up, I guess. So here you have Zur's General exposed, and what he's trying to do, it's kind of a risky move here. What he's trying to do is bait the goal pack to attacking his General and then heal it, because the General has enough hit points where the goals can't interrupt a heal on the General. So they'd have a hard time killing the General, and if the General gets enough kills, he starts to vet and attack very quickly, and he hits pretty hard too. So let's see what happens with that. He's trying to execute a pretty, now at half health is usually where you want to heal. He should be healing right now. His Journeyman also could get interrupted by goals attacking it, interrupt the heal. So it's a very risky maneuver. He goes for the heal, he didn't get it off in time. So that's how that works out right there. They finally did split archers at the worst possible time while, you know, while he's trying to do that little fancy maneuver over there. You know, that's another point, you know, don't distribute units in the midst of a battle. You gotta wait for kind of a little break in there so that people can see what's going on. Down here you have Merc and Terry, you know, trying to do something, but they're not going to be able to do anything. Game changers are up 50%. So, oh, and my frames are taking a shit on me. So I'm going to pause and let them catch up here for a sec. Alright. And I guess they're not really coming back. Alright, I got my frames back. Sorry about that. Got an old computer. Making do with what I have. So let's see Genghis get some dwarf shots off here, maybe. It looks like a good shot, but it does. Not that it really matters. The Terry tries to puss his dwarf, but it reflects off the barrier there. Merc also tries. I'm not sure why. That was pretty silly pussing there. Not that it matters at all. Nothing matters at this point in the game. And our rush finishes up here, so this game is pretty much over.
Flag captured.
There it is. 81%. It's pretty harsh. So, not a terribly exciting game, but it's a good one to point out, you know, mistakes and why games like this go the way they do. Adrenaline's gold pack gets tons of damage. In fact, more damage than their entire Thundercock's entire team combined. So yeah, a combination of, you know, it wasn't a great strategy. Grimm was sent by himself, but he probably should have been able to see the rush and run a little sooner, or at least do some damage in the process of dying. Overcommitted to a flag. Chicken wire, terrible unit distribution. Him and Storm Rider really weren't even in the fight. So the reason you get these big 81% games is because of all. It's not that you know, these players are so much better than these players. It's just you get these 2 versus 1 matchups, or even sometimes 3 versus 1 matchups, or 3 versus 2. And that's how this happens, you know. So it's a pretty important concept to understand. This game was pretty much a 5 or 7, so that's a typical result for a 5 or 7 right there. And that's pretty much all there is to that game. On to the next one.